I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ha Rakak Kwadash. Double honors unto our apostle elders, which teach Israel the truth, which taught me the truth, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Wa Abal Babal. All right, so I shared this clip from a news article on XRP. It says XRP News, XRP Ledger just tokenized $3 billion in real world assets. All right, so the jump is the banks jumping on to this digital currency, which you have XRP, and there's different companies that are part of this ledger, but it's coming with a implantable microchip. All right, so Ripple XRP, they have a implantable microchip, the mark of the beast. All right, now, all right, so World Liberty Financial is a cryptocurrency project co-founded by Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, and Barron Trump, which launched in late 2024 to provide decentralized finance, DeFi, borrowing and lending services. Now, let me get down to the XRP investment. It says XRP investment connection, while World Liberty Financial focuses on its own WLF token, US dollar one stablecoin. Reports have connected the broader Trump-affiliated crypto ventures to the wider market, including XRP. Eric Trump's endorsement. Eric Trump has expressed support for the crypto market, calling certain large-scale investments in XRP smart trades. All right. It says Iran using XRP. Iran has utilized various cryptocurrencies, including XRP. It says China using XRP. It says Chinese entities are exploring the XRP ledger, XRPL, for cross-border supply chain finance and trade rather than general retail, despite strict national crypto bans. See, so they're looking at the XRP despite strict national crypto bans. So it says as of May 2026, Russia integrating XRP into its financial system. All right, once again, XRP Ripple has an implantable microchip, and the elite, the ones that control the banking systems, are setting it up for the implantable microchip to be made mandatory for buying and selling. And it's already being set up worldwide in the cloak, in the deception of war, rumors of war. So it's prophesied that the devil, the so-called white race, would use his power, which is to deceive the world, into taking an implantable microchip, the mark of the beast. It says in Revelation 13, verse 14, and deceiveth them, talking about the Edomites, the elite bankers that control the world, that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which they control the media, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, which they're in allies with the European Union. Together they have NATO. America is the whore that rides the beast, and together they rule the world. All right. Now it says which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, talking about his military strength, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. That's why the whole world is following the New World Order, that they're going to make it mandatory worldwide that you have to have an implantable microchip, the mark of the beast. See, so I put European Union using XRP. It says, note, while Ripple has expanded its regulatory footprint in Europe, XRP is not the official currency of the EU and has not replaced the euro. But as you see, XRP is in all these different areas of the world, which they're able to hide themselves in different ways, all right, which they're bringing the world into a new world order, the so-called white race, which they're going to make it mandatory through draconian law that you have an implantable microchip, the mark of the beast. It says Ripple is significantly expanding its footprint in Africa as of 2026. All right, so it says XRP is rapidly expanding in South America, particularly in Brazil. All right, so it shows you that they're going to go digital, and like I showed you last time, all right, Ripple XRP have an implantable microchip that's going to be made mandatory for buying and selling worldwide. All right. It says in Revelation 13, verse 14, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image, a system, to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live, which North America, the United States, is in a spirit of ancient Rome with the European Union and NATO. They rule the world by the sword. All right, and that's how Rome got the world before. So we're in the second leg, the reincarnation of the pagan Roman Empire, which America is the head that took the place of the head that was wounded by a sword, which was ancient Rome. And even its leadership said it goes back to Athens, the Greeks, and the Romans, which are Edomites. America is the kingdom of Edom, the wicked. It says in Revelation 13, verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So there's going to come draconian law that is already put in place, that anyone that goes against this beast system, they're to be put to death. And that's why they're going to persecute the saints, because we're speaking against the implantable microchip, telling our people to reject the mark of the beast, to choose death as gain rather than taking that implantable microchip. Because according to the biblical prophecy, if you accept that, that's Revelation 14, 9 and 10, and you will be in the lake of fire, which America is going to be turned into a nuclear lake of fire via its allies and enemies. All right. It says in verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, which is that implantable microchip, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. So you're going to have that mark, that implantable mark, the microchip, the mark of the beast, to buy or sell. or the name of the beast, which is the information in that chip, or the number of his name, which when you buy or sell, you're going to be scanned for a microchip, which has information and a number. Karagma, Karax, and graphite or graphite, as it says in Revelation 13 and 18, Kai Zai Stigma. It says in Revelation 13 and 18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, the so-called white man, and his number is 636, which is Kai Zai Stigma in the Greek. Going back to the Greeks, right? And it tells you here, when you go into the word Kai Zai Stigma, all right, it goes into the cutting of the flesh. Go to the root. Stigma, which is to prick, to cut you, right? To cut the body, to trench it, to mark your body, right? Showing ownership. Before they would do it to the slaves through tattoos or branding, now they have the implantable microchip, which is the Kai Zai Stigma, which, once again, the stigma to cut. Let's see. Here it is. So it's Kai Zai Stigma, which it says Revelation 13:18, representing the number 666, the number of the beast, which is a man, the so-called white man, and his number is 666, which goes back to the Greek alphabet. Kai Zai Stigma, which the stigma is cutting into the flesh. All right. Now, it says, let's see. All right, going back to Revelation 13, verse 17, going into the interlinear, pertaining to the word mark. All right, karagma. All right, which the root word is karax. Okay, karagma, root word karax. All right, so it says a pail, a stake, and it's for what? To scratching, to trench, right? To cut out a piece of your flesh, to implant a microchip. See, a stamp imprinted mark, which back in the day they branded us. They also cut us, right? To mark us. And it was a badge of servitude. So today in modern times, they're going to use the implantable microchip to mark their slaves. All right. Now, when you go into the word grapho, there it is, grapho, to write. See, with reference to the form of the letters, which when they scan it, it will explain information of you pertaining to, who you are, RFID, implantable microchip, radio frequency identification, which will have all your information. It says to give information, directions, right? So that's what it is. It's going to hold information, the implantable microchip. And as it says in Revelation 13, verse 17, I'm going to read that again. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. You allowed your skin to be cut with a syringe, which dug out a trench, and they put a microchip inside your body that holds this information. Or the name of the beast, which is the information inside that microchip. Or the number of his name, which is the information inside that microchip. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, that so-called white man, the red devil the Bible speaks of. And his number is 666, Chi Xi Stigma. Alright, and even Kushner, the son-in-law of Donald Trump, Nero 47, his address is even 666 Fifth Avenue. Alright. Images, Kushner, right there. There you go. Alright. It says XRP is active in the Promised Land, with Ripple partnering with local financial service firm GMT to enhance regional financial technology. Investors can buy, sell, and trade XRP using small hat new shekels through authorized platforms like Bits of Gold. See? So they're confederate, these Edomites and the other nations, in this new world order of everyone having an implantable microchip, which the system's already set up. It says in Revelation 14, verse 9, it says, And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, which this is a warning to the Israelites about that implantable microchip, the mark of the beast, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Almighty Yahweh when he sends his son Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, which is America, the great whore, which is Babylon the Great, and it's going to be turned into a lake of nuclear fire via its allies and enemies shooting nuclear missiles onto this whore, which is poured out without mixture. No mercy will be shown into the cup of his indignation, and his righteous hatred is for the American Edomite. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb, which is Yahushai. When Yahushai comes to save his elect, the wicked and them that do wickedly, here in America and Babylon the Great, they're going to be in a lake of fire, nuclear fire. And that implantable microchip, the mark of the beast, will condemn you to that lake of fire, the nuclear destruction. Which this is why the so-called white race is causing famine, death, and then it's going to lead to destruction. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Wa abal babal.